A white puppy, alone, on the same street 3 days in a row. Xiaobai saw him the first time and thought he had an owner. He saw him the second time and something told him things were not right. He saw him the third time and made a decision. He took him home. But the next day, when Xiaobai left for work, the puppy escaped. And when he followed him to see where he was going, what he discovered on that street left him speechless. There was a reason that little dog always came back to the same spot, and nobody had told him yet. It all happened in China. Xiaobai passed by that street frequently, and the first 2 times he saw the white puppy, he assumed he belonged to someone. He looked healthy, clean, well cared for, but seeing him alone in the same spot 2 days in a row lit something inside him. The third time he passed by, he picked him up and took him home. The puppy arrived at his new home calm, gentle, without resisting. He ate, he rested. Everything seemed to be going well. Until the next day. When Xiaobai left for work, the puppy followed him to the street and at some point disappeared from sight. Xiaobai searched until he found him back at the exact same spot where he had first seen him, standing there, still, looking at the ground. It was at that moment that an elderly woman passing by stopped when she saw him and said something Xiaobai did not expect to hear. "Are you still here?" Xiaobai stopped her. He asked if she knew anything about the puppy, and the woman told him the story nobody had shared with him. The puppy's mother had died at that exact spot. A driver had hit her days earlier. And on that same manhole cover where the puppy kept coming back, that was where she used to lie down with him. The puppy was not lost. He was not abandoned. He was waiting for his mother. Waiting in the only place where he had last seen her, because it was the only place where his instinct told him he might find her again. Xiaobai heard all of that without being able to say a word. And when the puppy looked up and met his eyes, something inside him made a decision there was no going back from. Xiaobai took him home again, this time with the certainty that he was not going to let him go back to that street alone, because now he understood everything. He understood why he kept coming back. He understood what he was looking for. And he understood that the only way to help him was to give him something to replace what he had lost. Not a street, not a manhole cover, a home, a family, someone who would stay. With time, the puppy stopped escaping. He stopped going back to that place, not because he forgot his mother, but because he found a reason to stay where he was. At the beginning of the story, a white puppy waited alone on a street in China for someone who could no longer come back. In the end, he found someone who decided to stay. And sometimes that is exactly what a broken heart needs to start beating again.